in here. This isn't going to be a long live. It's not going to be. Look at me trying to straighten my blanket so it doesn't look like a vagina. Um, I didn't listen to a lot of the stuff that went on last night. I didn't listen to Jenny Jen Jens. I didn't. I heard Brian went on a couple different panels. I don't care. But I did notice that Jenny Jen Jen put out a post and played a clip of something that Brian said. Hey, Sergeant Blackrock, about Carla's son. So she pretty much called me to task. Hey, Pepper. Hey, Scoop. Hey, Republican Ash. I'm not even on StreamYard, so. But she called me to task. And, Brian, what you said about Carla's son, I don't know if it hit home for Carla. If, hey, Lilo, if what you said to Carla was meant to hurt Carla. But, hey, Connie, just Connie, Scoop, it, um, it sure did hit home to me. Okay? Because you ask her if it was fun having her drug addict son steal from her. And, hey, Amanda T. And I don't know what all was said. Jenny Jen Jen clipped it and wanted me to call it out. So I'm going to call it out. Brian, what you said was wrong. And like I said, I don't know if you hurt Carla with it, but you fucking hurt me. Hey, Steph. Hey, Cats Rule. Thanks for being a member for 10 months. Let me tell you, let me go ahead and just get this out of the way, and I can be done with it. If it wants to be used for YouTube fodder, hey, whatever. Hey, Rain Girl. But I'm going to go ahead and appease Jenny Jen Jen and call this out for her. What was said, Brian, was something to the extent of, is it fun having your drug addict child steal from you? Well, let me answer that for Carla. No, Brian, it's not. My son has gone back to using, and he has hit my bank account pretty freaking hard in the last week or so. I finally figured out what he was doing, and and this is not to get super chats or PayPals or anything like that. I'm gonna be fine. But I finally figured out what he was doing, and I put a stop to it. I changed all my passwords and all that. So once he figured out that I was on to him, and now he's too ashamed. See, now he's too ashamed to even talk to me because of what he's done. So I was able to locate uh, somebody that he had messaged from my phone, and I was told that he was at her place, which I'm sure is some dump hotel somewhere, some flop house, whatever, and that he had attempted to use opiates again when he hasn't used them in a very long time, and that he basically died on her floor. By the time the paramedics had gotten there, had it have been 2 more minutes, he was in full respiratory arrest. I didn't know none of this. See, this is what an addict's mother lives through. They did save him, thank God. He's still with us. I don't know where he's at because as soon as the hospital brought him back, he hit the streets running again. So, right now, the only way that I know whether my son is breathing is by checking Facebook Messenger to see how long it's been since he's been online. So, no, Brian, it's not fun. And Jenny Jin Jin, I hope this brings some peace to you that you called on me to call this out. So, I am back to a place I never wanted to be again. But I'm here. I'm back to not knowing moment to moment. Um, I'm back to a son who won't speak to me because he is so ashamed of his actions. Um, I'm back to leaving random text, random messages, um, just letting him know that I love him and that he is worthy. So, no, Brian, it's not fun. And thank you, Jenny, for picking me to be the one to call this out. Um, this is why, in my opinion, it's so important to not go after people's addictions, anyone's addictions, to not make claims that people are using drugs. Hey, D Rod. Hey, Natalie. Hey, Stellar. Melly D. I'm sorry if I'm missing any of you all. But I was called to the carpet to call this out. Hey, Mary. Stalker Mary. So I'm calling it out. And then I'm going to get on my hands and knees and try to turn it over to God because I don't have any control over it. If I had control over the situation, my son would be in a warm bed with a hot meal in his belly and not chasing that high. Um, the last message I left him was, "You are my world. I will walk beside you, but I cannot carry you." That was just a couple hours ago. Still no response. I did wake up to a message. Well, actually, it was in my email when I checked my email where he had chosen me to be the executor of his Facebook page if something was to happen to him, that I would be in charge of memorializing it. Scoop, uh, my son's drug of choice is opiates, but then he switched to methamphetamines, and then he got the wild hair the other day, the day that he literally died in someone's floor, but that wasn't enough to make him stop, obviously, because I told him, when you're ready to stop, call me. Uh, if you're hungry, call me, I'll feed you. I won't give you money. Uh, he's gotten me for about $1,000 in the last 2 weeks. And like I said, I'm not looking for fucking super chats or dry begging, e-begging, whatever. I'm fine. What I'm looking for is prayers for my son and for every addict and people in love with addicts. Just prayers. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm asking for. I know what Brian said. He said it to hurt Carla. See, we all do that on here. We say things to hurt people, but we don't realize what other people are actually going through. Ah, Scoop, I'll never give up on him. I've been going through this for 20 years. I get a few good months out of him, and then it's back to the games. It's back to the restless nights and the. But Brian, what you said to Carla, I'm answering for Carla. No, it's not fun, dude. It's not fun. Hey, Helen, Sarah. Um, so the next time you want to throw a jab at an addict, a recovering addict, stop. Because you don't know what the people that are in love with that addict goes through on a daily. Congratulations, Critter, to your brother. I would give anything to have 7 years. I've never even had more than a year, and that's when he was locked up. 20 years. Congratulations. Oh, hasn't been sober. I'm sorry, Colorado. But there's so much on this platform that we can say about each other because each and every day, each and every single day, every one of us get on here and in some way or another show our ass. We say hateful things about each other. We, but when you have a son, when you have a child, see, I don't get the luxury of the high. I don't get the euphoria from the drug. But I feel every everything else from this situation. It does have to be their choice, Midwestern. So, there you go, Jenny. There you have it. You plucked me out of the crowd. You know that I'm the mother of an addict. That's not a secret. And you asked me to call Brian out. So, I have done that. Remy, you don't have to do that. I promise you. I'm really not looking for super chats or PayPals or anything else. The money is not the issue at all. I mean, no, I don't have a ton of money, but it's not the issue. It's the hurt of knowing that he steals from his absolute best friend, his rock. And that money that he steals could be what puts him in his grave. So when I caught on to what he was doing, and then I heard that he OD'd and had to go to the hospital and be resuscitated, all I could think is, my God, that could have been my money. I know, Christine, I'm sorry. And if it's hard to listen to, Galway, I haven't been talking about it. Please don't feel left out because I haven't spoken to anybody about this. I just now had to break down and tell my brother. So, you know, I don't always present myself in the best of ways. I'm not always, you know, I mean, according to some people, I get up and eat gravel for breakfast. I don't know. Um, I do come off rough around the edges. Um, but anybody that really knows me knows that I'm a big marshmallow. That I freaking cry at Hallmark commercials. People that know me know that I am fun and I do like to laugh. I just haven't had a lot to laugh about lately. But I have a hell of a lot to be grateful for because as of 20 minutes ago, he was online, which tells me he's okay. He might be hungry, he might be cold, but he's breathing. And when you get to the point in your life that that's all you're really hoping for, that's all you're really praying for, is that they continue breathing. No, Brian, it's not fun. Now, as I said, guys, trigger warning. This is tough. I don't want anybody to have to, you know, um, I got called to the carpet. I answered the call for you, Jenny Jen Jen. And trust me when I say, I know exactly why you came to me to call it out. Because you know my situation. Well, now you really know my situation. Now you really know. No, we don't have control over our adult children. And to be honest with you, they're not even our children, they're God's children. The problem is sometimes we try to get in the way of God's work. I know I do. So I have answered the call for Jenny Jen Jen. I have called out Brian. Now, I didn't holler and I didn't scream. And if that's what you were looking for, Jenny, I'm sorry I disappointed you. Brian, I am begging you with every ounce of strength that I have at this moment, which isn't much. No, Angela, he's rip raring and tearing right now. That if you want to go at somebody, don't use their children's addiction. And for people who want to go at Brian, don't use what his son did. And let's not attack deceased parents and deceased family members on here. Throwing tomatoes is one thing, but at some point we've got to become human again. Exactly, Galway. So, this is me signing off. I pray for each and every one of you that are suffering. I pray for each and every one of you that are in recovery and fight this every single day of their lives. And I pray for everyone who's ever loved someone that's an addict. Because I'm 20 years in now, and it's been a long, hard ride for both me and my son. So, guys, peace out. Have the night you deserve. And, Jenny, you got your call out. Brian, you hurt my heart. And, I will see you guys around the tubes. Bye, guys.